This is the fifth time I'm doing a 5 at 5 in 2022, and I still haven't been able to talk about a victory. Arsenal nil, Burnley nil. Let's get into it. Number one, and I'm just going to start at what I think is the most important thing, and that is above just a single match. It's about the Arsenal hierarchy and the squad management this season, and the lack of activity in the January transfer window. Let's be really honest. Edu, Mikel, Vinay, in summer, they did a lot of transfer dealings and not everyone was convinced. I certainly wasn't convinced. There were a few players that I'd never heard of. Tavares, Lokonga, Tomiyasu I'd never seen play. Ramsdale, I thought, why is he coming in as a number two? And actually at the halfway point of the season, a lot of Arsenal fans said, do you know what? We were wrong. They did a really good job in the summer transfer window and they actually did sign some really good players. Now, what that's done is that's put us into contention for fighting out for top four. Obviously that, along with teams like Man United and Tottenham, not really quite being at the level that we might have expected. But now they seem to be undoing all of the good work that they did in summer by having outgoing after outgoing after outgoing and no signings coming in. Look, Edu, Vinay, Mikel, you guys need to realise top four is on the cards and you cannot throw it away. It seems like you're sabotaging our season now with the lack of transfer activity. I don't know about you guys, but that's something I'm very, very frustrated about. We've got a week left of this transfer window. We've got a 17-day break now. By the time we have our next game, we absolutely need a midfielder and a striker if possible, but at the very, very least, a striker needs to come in because we are not scoring goals. Number two, and this is about how much Burnley frustrated us and Ramsdale's reaction on the 90th minute. But you know what? The frustration that Burnley sought to achieve in the game yesterday started even before the game kicked off. It started at kick-off, in fact, when Lacazette lost the toss and Burnley, instead of doing what teams usually do in this sort of like unwritten rule where Arsenal shoot into the clock end in the first half and the North Bank in the second half, Burnley, as they set out to frustrate Arsenal, decided to flip that script and forced us to shoot into the North Bank in the first half. It hardly ever happens, maybe twice a season, max, in all the years I've been a season ticket holder. So they started the frustration right before the game and that continued through with their stubborn resistance. On 90 minutes though, I saw Aaron Ramsdale really lose it with the team. And this won't be part of any highlights package, but the ball went out of play. He picks it up. When he turns round, he goes ballistic at everyone around him because no one had really made a run. No one had sort of got into position to receive the ball or allowed him an option to go long as well. And his reaction really, really summed it up. And that really disappointed me, to be honest with you, because not Ramsdale, I'm talking about the rest of the team. It really disappointed me because we've seen recently Tottenham somehow win a game from a losing position in injury time. We've seen Man United go and beat West Ham in the 93rd minute. And I thought to myself, where was that belief? Where was that desperation that Arsenal can go and win the game in injury time? Ramsdale clearly had that belief because he went ballistic at the team, but I didn't see it elsewhere. It's one of those things that I don't think anyone else would have spotted unless you were at the game and sitting in the North Bank just a few metres away from Aaron Ramsdale. And number three, I want to talk about the fact that Mikel Arteta is rumoured to be close to being offered a new 2-year deal. How do you feel about that? Put it in the comments below. Do you think it's too soon or do you think he's done enough to earn that? For me personally, I want to see what he does in the really, really crucial part of the season where all that pressure is amped up and every single game feels like the most crucial game you've played all season. That really does separate the people who know how to handle it from the bottlers. And I want to find out which one Arteta is before we go and offer him a 2-year contract extension. For me, I don't think he's done enough. But you let me know what you think about that extension in the comments below. Number four, crosses, crosses, crosses. Death by crosses, in fact. And according to FOTMob, a football statistics app, Arsenal put in 34 crosses against Burnley. And guess how many were actually successful crosses? Only 3. I mean, that's awful. Less than 10% were successful. And to me, that summed up the entire game. I saw Sean Dyche constantly calling in Eric Peters on the left-hand side not to get too close to Saka and to make sure they didn't leave any chink in their armour for Arsenal to get in behind. They were happy to defend that semicircle that Arsenal were playing around their back four, around their banks, in fact, of defenders. And We just simply had no answer to Burnley's resolute defence. I got fed up watching it, and for me, I felt like we needed some incision in our play. And yeah, we had it a couple of times, a good ball from Erdegaard at one point, another really good bit of play from Emile Smith-Rowe where he got round the outside and managed to kind of get in behind Burnley, but we didn't do it enough. 34 crosses for me tells me that, look, it's not working, and Arteta should have done something to change our attacking setup in that game when it was clear it wasn't working. Very, very frustrating day. And number 5, this is a question I want all of you guys to answer if you're watching this video, so put your answer in the comments below. Is it time to bring Aubameyang back into the squad? And the reason I ask that question is that, especially if we don't sign a striker, look, if we sign a striker, a Vlahovic or an Isaac, then fine, we don't need to do that. But we can't go the rest of the season, in my opinion, just relying on Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah. Who truly believed when we took Emile Smith-Rowe off and brought Eddie Nketiah on that he would make the difference in the game? He wasn't bad when he came on, but I don't think that we really truly have the belief that he's going to be there at the crucial moment and be clinical. Whilst Aubameyang, we've seen him do it time and time again. Is it time for Aubameyang to come back and for Arteta to swallow his pride and allow him to come back? And I know some of you might be thinking, well, even before he got dropped, he wasn't exactly playing very well. You're right, he was missing chance after chance. But that's the point. He's always there on the end of a chance. Aubameyang has just got that knowledge of where to position himself to make sure that when the ball comes flashing across the box, he'll be there. And more often than not, he scores. But even if he doesn't, at least we get the chance. And Lacazette, with the way he plays and drops so deep and goes out wide, I don't see him being there to take advantage when that ball is in that goal-scoring position. So let me know. Auback to come back in the squad, yes or no? Thank you as ever for watching my 5 at 5. I really appreciate it. The amount of people that have come up to me and said, Mo, I love the 5 at 5. Always look forward to watching it. If that's one of you, then start tweeting me, start dropping me a message on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it might be, and let me know what you spot in games, and I'll try and include that and shout you out if I pick something from what you've suggested to include in my 5 at 5. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, and I'll see you on the 10th of February, a long old break for Arsenal where they'll be going to Dubai for a change of scenery and some warm weather training, and hopefully that helps us turn the tide of what has been an awful start to 2022. Look forward to seeing you in February. Take care.